Hi, Brian Hawkins, Next Step Survival, and for the first video of the year, it's January the 1st, 2024, and that sounds strange saying that. I stayed up kind of late last night, so the video may not be all that exciting. Not that they normally are that I do. For the first video, I want to do my get home pack, my 24-hour or less. So I have an extended get home pack when I go out of state or further away, but my job generally takes me under 30 miles, say 23 miles. It's about a 10-hour hike, so it's not that bad, and I don't need to worry about camping overnight and all that type of stuff. So it's pretty limited. It's between 10 and 12 pounds, depending on what I put in there, so it's not a lot to carry. I carry 3 packs in my truck. I showed this in my EDC video. I carry my EDC pack, which is a 25-pound tactical looking mess, and then this get home pack in my lunch pail. I'll go into that a little bit in the video. Let's get started. All right, so what we have here is some of my packs here. I have my EDC pack that I've already done a video on. I'll link it below. My get home pack, my extended get home pack, and that's on a future video coming soon, and my lunch pail. Now I'm going to clear some of this off the table and we can get started on the get home pack. Okay, now we're down to the EDC pack, the short term, short distance, 24-hour or less get home pack. My shoes, those are Merrell hiking shoes because I wear steel-toed at work. Belleville and Oakley brands have 2 different pair of composite, but they're still a little heavy to hike at home. I could do it if I needed to, but let's get started. For foot gear, I have 3 pairs of Merrell hiking boots. These are the low cut. I have the ankle cut, I guess they're called, as well. And I've taken, and they're wore out now because all of them's been worn and broke in, but I've replaced the insoles with each pair of those for comfort. The pack itself is a 511 Tactical Covert 18 2.0. It's kind of gray man, non-assuming, not very tactical looking. You can't see that, but right now it's showing 12.3 pounds. But when I just waited a couple minutes ago, it was 11, so I don't know what was there. I think it's different when you're holding it rather than when it was attached, but 11 or 12 pounds. There's not a lot of tactical pockets and packs and all that inside or on the pack itself. It's got an admin area. It's got easy access pocket. I'm going to go over all this in a second. It's got a main area. It's got 2 water bottle holders. It has a concealed carry section on it. Inside there, I just have a couple Glock 19 mags, 15 round mags, and they're loaded. So there's quite a bit of the weight. And depending on the situation, the reason I'm trying to get home, possibly on foot, those may come out to lighten the load. I'll just start with the first pocket, the admin pouch or admin pocket. Down at the bottom, very simple little first aid kit. Super light, very basic, no trauma. By the way, if things are so dire that I have to walk home without a vehicle and I have maybe a tourniquet or something like that, it's unlikely that I'm going to get any assistance, and that requires further assistance, right? I mean, you get a bullet wound or, you rip open an artery in your arm or something, you need to get to a hospital right away. So I'm not carrying it with me. Just a little ibuprofen, some Excedrin, Band-Aids, alcohol, N95 mask, 9/11 situation, smoke, whatever. Some moleskin, blisters on the walk home, and just some gauze and ace bandage if I gotta patch myself up on the way home, and that's it. Next is, and you've seen this in my EDC pack if you watch that video. It's pretty much the same. Dude wipe, a couple of these little compressed towels, get them wet and expand. This is just a deodorant wipe. I have 2 of them. Probably could get away with just one in there. A couple wet ones. Clean up. Maybe you need to disinfect a toilet seat or something. A couple of pens. Ink pen. Sharpie. Tiny little bitty Write in the Rain notebook. Little O-light flashlight. Little thermometer. I was a hiker. When you're hiking and it's out and it's cold, you don't always know exactly how cold it is until you slow down, stop for a minute. So this might come in handy to understand how dire the cold is. This is right now set up for winter. I'm in Michigan. These lights, these strobe lights, I don't carry a ghillie suit and try to hide out in the woods. In fact, I'm say 23, I guess about the furthest I drive. I'm a truck driver, local truck driver. The furthest I am from home is about 23 miles. And there's very little woods. If there's traffic on the road, I want to be seen. Part of survival is not dying, so I don't want to get run over. And you can see that right through the pack. That's a little bit of redundancy. This little cob light here does that as well. So it's got 3 settings, then red. You can see that through the pack as well. Of course, I could hang it on the outside if I think it's not bright enough, but then it's a little too bright. That's my thought process anyway. I'm not trying to hide from everybody. I don't want to be run over. Of course, if vehicles are running, I'm going to try to get it home on a vehicle, right? Not walking down the street. So next I'll go into the little center pouch here that's opened up. Inside here is just a rain jacket. Keep you dry, keep you warm. I have another one of these in my vehicle, my truck, so a little bit better quality than this. I'll probably be wearing that if it's cold. The first thing that I would do when I grab this pack is open this little pouch here up. I imagine stress is going to be high. And I have a little note to myself. And this is from EDC if needed. Cash, phone charger, power bank, spare phone. Again, if you haven't seen the video, I'll link to it below. I need to fill my water bottles. I'll show you that in a minute. Any extra food, grab my fixed blade. This is only if needed. Spare batteries, spare mags, pepper spray. I showed you the mags in there. Like I said, those will probably more than likely come out. Flashlights, headlamp, batteries. All that's in here to be spare. First aid kit, hats, gloves, scarf or gaiter. So it's just a little note to myself. So I'm not spending 20 minutes trying to dig through my EDC pack, deciding what to take. Next thing in the quick access pocket, I'd probably just put this on if it was night. A little ace beam headlamp, spare battery. This is just a little bit of duct tape wrapped around a container. Inside that container, this would go into my pocket. That's why I'm grabbing it before I even take off. If I can, if I can't, I grab my EDC pack and this pack, and I go find a safe place to organize and to cache my EDC pack, because I don't want to lose that forever, right? Inside there is just a little bit of money. So not a lot, but I just take it out of here, put this money in my pocket. I think this is 50 bucks. Then like you've seen on the note, I'd grab the cash. It's in my EDC pack too. And you know, if it's not snowy or icy and I don't have a working vehicle and I can't get a ride in another vehicle, I'll probably try to take some of this cash and buy a bicycle, to be honest. This is a very simplistic and very lightweight pack. This is just another rain jacket. You know, it's snowing, sleet, whatever. Maybe I need that. A little bit of food. This is my food pouch. I keep the energy up. I showed you my lunch pail. Oh, also in here, I should have shown you, there's plenty of room inside this for whatever else I need to grab. It's not stuffed full like my other packs. So I probably grabbed the spare protein bars and food out of my EDC and the food out of my lunch pail if I haven't eaten it yet. Inside here. And this is just what I put in here. I don't have any of the big food bars in here or anything. I just have some energy bars. I think there's 4 energy bars. And then 4 of these little cookie bars. This right here is, I didn't write it down. I thought I did. I think it's somewhere around between 1600 and 1800 calories. Inside this pouch is probably go in my coat pocket. So I can just grab something. I might throw an energy bar or something in my pocket too. But I have these little energy gels. These little energy beans. That's it. This is clothing. That's it. Nothing to it. By the way, I'm using these cheap mesh type pouches for weight rather than grab. See if I got anything handy here I can grab. Rather than grab these Maui tactical, they're heavier. So that's my thought process on it. Just trying to keep everything as light as possible. They're inside of a Ziploc bag. It's just something that whenever I buy a product, I keep anything with a Ziploc or anything like that, I keep those, throw them in a bigger Ziploc. And then when I come across something like this, I want to keep waterproof, I just dig through, find the size I need. This is pretty minimal. Schmog, spare pair of wool socks, and this little gator type of thing. And then a couple of hot hands, actually 4 of them, 4 hot hands. That's it for the clothing, and that's it for that pouch. For that, oh no, it's not. Got the cordage. A little bit of paracord in there. The back side has this little water bladder compartment. I don't have a water bladder in there. I do have this. I probably wouldn't need it. Probably wouldn't use it. I have a case of water in my vehicle, so that's why I would fill these bottles. So I may fill this up, but I probably wouldn't need it. But I could if I needed. So that's the option. Also, if I need to collect dirty water, this is my solution. I'll get into that in a second. Next in here, also in a Ziploc bag, inexpensive compass. Forget the paste beads. They're not going to be needed as we're playing around. And honestly, the compass probably wouldn't be needed for where I need to go. Nor would this map, but maybe I want to go through some neighborhoods. This is a topographical map that I ordered online of my area. It covers my home and my entire route. So you can custom order these online. I'll drop a link to the company that I used online. Had pretty quick turnaround. It wasn't that expensive, and it's pretty good quality, even though I do notice a lot of these US topographical maps are a little dated. I have a street map in I should have put that on my card, I will. I have a street map of the local area as well in my truck, and that'd probably be more helpful than that topographical map, since I'm not going to be trekking through the woods. And the last thing I need to show you, I believe, is water and shelter. So shelter is very minimal. I can more than likely, depending on the situation, be home if I say 5 o'clock in the afternoon, end of the workday, something goes sideways and I got to hike it home. I can probably be home by morning, before daylight, more likely. Part of preparedness is preparing for the unexpected sometimes. So very bare minimum. This little insulated bivvy from Frog and Company, a little emergency space blanket. And honestly, most of the shelter that I carry is on my back, right? So I'm already going to be dressed for winter. I've lived in Michigan my entire life, other than my military service. So I know to stay layered, and I'm dressed for the weather already. In a 10-hour day, I drive generally about 100 miles. All the rest of the time is outside my truck. Fire starting, can't get too much simpler than this little fire starting kit. If you watched my EDC pack or my on-person EDC, I have a video on that. I'll link that as well. I already carry a lighter in my pocket. I've talked about these little zip fire starters before. I'm a big fan of them. A little light my fire ferro rod, spare lighter. That's my fire starting kit. And this is probably unnecessary, but it's there if I need it. Sawyer Squeeze and an adapter, and I'll show you what this is for in a second. So my water bottle that I carry is I have it hooked here so it doesn't, so if I got to get running or something, it doesn't come off. So I have that clipped on there. It's this GRAYL squeeze bottle. So you just fill it up that much water. So what I would do is, I wouldn't be filtering any water. I'd just fill this up for my water bottles in the truck. And then what I'd more than likely do is grab my water bottle out of my EDC. This does have water in it. A little yuddy. And I would put this in the pocket. And then I would, with this same little carabiner that I have holding that in place, I would just clip that to the side. Now I got all that's water. It's probably enough water for me right there without worrying about filling up that Sawyer bag. But I would probably fill this up anyway, just so I'm not out trying to collect water on my way home. Little bandana for filtering, pre-filtering some water. At the bottom I have some water purification tablets. They're not expired. Little TOAKS Titanium cup. Probably don't need this, but it doesn't weigh much. This little Hydrapak holds up very small, so I would fill this up, take the 2 water bottles full of water, may or may not fill up that Sawyer, whatever liter, I think it has 2 liters as well. But what I can do with this, so attached to this is 2 caps. So you've seen the cap that was on there. Then I have this cap, take this off, use this cap if I need it. All right, so I am so glad that I'm doing this video, because I would have found myself in a situation because I had the wrong end. I had this on for my reservoir, this one, for inline hydration. And this is the one I needed, so now that's fixed. Well, thanks to this video. So what I can do here is I take the cap, not the cap that came with it, but this cap, my hand's full here. This cap here will accept this, and this will screw on to my Sawyer. And there you go. I can fill this with dirty water, or that other one, and refill my water bottles with this. Again, it's probably unnecessary. I would likely not need this. It's just there for an emergency. If I needed to use the other, I've already put it back in there, but the Sawyer cheap little water bag, if I needed to fill that with dirty water and wanted to fill this up with clean water as well as my other ones, I could do that as well. Then I got the little sippy cap on there, and we're good. And I think that's about it. Let me check my notes. Yeah, I got a couple more things I can show you real quick. This is for the winter. So if it was summertime, generally what I would do is I'd take out the socks and hat and stuff like that, replace it with maybe mosquito net, lighter hat, ball cap or something to keep the sun out of my hair, my eyes, some bug spray, maybe some sunscreen. Somebody's certainly going to want to bring up a Silcock water key. I have them. I don't really see the need in carrying one with this pack, but I definitely do with my extended get home pack. It's a nice option if you're in more of an urban environment. I think that's pretty much it. Very minimalist. That's a really difficult word for me. If I wanted under 10 pounds, it was at 10.4 pounds before I put those spare mags in there. And I'm second guessing myself on that. Unlikely that I would even need it. So there you go. Brian Hawkins, Next Step Survival. We're out.